12 hours after I gave birth, my partner's grandmother walked into my hospital room with 4 family members and told me, looking at my newborn daughter, "She looks like you." That's a shame. Look, I'm 34 weeks pregnant. I'm tired. I'm huge. And my blood pressure has been a topic of conversation at every doctor's appointment for the last month. So maybe I'm overreacting, but I genuinely feel like I'm losing my mind. My partner, Eli, and I have been together for 4 years. His grandmother, Colleen, is a piece of work. She's the matriarch, the type who thinks her opinion is gospel and her way is the highway. For the most part, I've kept the peace, smiled, nodded, and let Eli handle her. The baby shower is supposed to be small, intimate. My best friend, Sarah, and my sister are hosting it at a cute little rented venue downtown. It's a storybook brunch theme. Think vintage books, wildflowers, cozy blankets. We sent out invites 2 weeks ago to just 20 people. My side, Eli's immediate family, parents, 1 brother, and our 2 closest couple friends. Colleen has been calling Eli nonstop. At first, it was just suggestions. You need to invite cousin Patty. Where is Aunt May's invitation? We explained to her that we wanted it small. She didn't listen. She started sending me Facebook messages with photos of random people, asking, "You're inviting her, right? She's family." Yesterday, she showed up at our apartment unannounced. I was resting on the couch. She walked in with a bag full of glittery, gaudy baby shower decorations, huge "oh boy" signs, plastic baby bottles, the works. She started putting them on my coffee table. "I saw your little theme online," she said, her voice dripping with disdain. "It's too plain. People will be bored. We need some pizzazz. And I've made a new list." She pulled out a crumpled piece of paper with at least 15 extra names on it. "These are my bridge club ladies. They throw the best showers. They'll bring the best gifts." I sat up. "Colleen, the venue is small. We can't fit 15 extra people. And the theme is already set." She waved her hand. "Oh, nonsense. We can move it to the church hall. It's bigger. I'll call Father Mike today. And we can use my decorations. Your little book thing is fine for the background, but this is what a baby shower is supposed to look like." I told her as calmly as I could, "No. Thank you for the thought, but no. This is the shower Sarah and my sister are throwing for me. We're not moving it." She ignored me completely, started texting on her phone. "I'm letting the girls know about the new location." That's when I lost it a little. My voice got loud. "Colleen, stop. You are not moving my shower. You are not taking over." She just looked at me with a cold smile. "Honey, you're young. You don't know how these things work. You need an experienced hostess. I'm doing you a favor." Eli walked in from the bedroom right as I was about to scream. He saw my face, saw the decorations, and asked what was going on. Colleen immediately put on a hurt expression. "I'm just trying to help," and she's yelling at me. I couldn't even speak. I just pointed at the glittery mess on the table. Eli looked at it, then at her. "Grandma, we talked about this. The shower is handled." "Well, it's handled wrong," she snapped, her sweet facade gone. "Your girlfriend is making a fool of this family with a sad little party. So I'm fixing it. You should be thanking me." I finally found my voice. "You're not fixing anything. You are a guest. That's it. I don't want your bridge club there. I don't want your tacky plastic everywhere. I want my shower, the one I planned." She gasped, genuinely gasped. "Tacky? You ungrateful little. I have bought more gifts for this baby than anyone. I have a right to celebrate how I see fit." I was shaking. "Then throw your own party. This one is mine." She stood up, grabbed her bag, and looked at Eli. "You see? This is what you get. A girl who isolates you from your family. She won't last." She pointed a finger at me. "Don't come crying to me when you need real help, because I won't be there. You've made that perfectly clear." She stormed out, leaving the decorations on my table. I felt sick to my stomach. The stress was immediate, a tight band around my chest. I know she's already called half her friends, telling them the shower is at the church hall. She's posted about it on her Facebook. People are going to be showing up to the wrong place because of her. Eli is furious, but he's also stressed because the rest of his family is starting to text him, asking why I'm being difficult with his grandma. So, Ada for finally putting my foot down. I thought that was the end of it for the night. I really did. I was wrong. About an hour after Colleen left, my phone started blowing up. I was in the bathroom trying to calm down because my stomach was in knots, and I could feel the baby moving like crazy, which always happens when I'm stressed. Eli was in the living room, and I could hear him on the phone, his voice low and tense. I figured it was his mom or something, so I just let him handle it. When I came out, he was sitting on on the couch, staring at his phone, looking pale. I asked him what was wrong. He didn't answer at first, just handed me the phone. It was a text thread with his mom, Patricia, but it wasn't just her. It was a group chat. Patricia had added Eli, his brother Mike, his dad, and 3 of his aunts. The messages were rolling in fast. Patricia: Eli, your grandmother is hysterical. She said your girlfriend called her decorations tacky and threw her out. Is this true? Aunt Jan: I can't believe this. Colleen is a saint. She has done everything for this family. Aunt Marie: what is wrong with this girl? Does she not have any manners? Patricia: she's always been a little cold, if you ask me. Keeps to herself at family functions. Aunt Jan: well, when you're raised without family values, what do you expect? Mike: mom, chill. We don't know the whole story. Patricia: Mike, your grandmother is crying. Crying over a baby shower. That woman has given her heart and soul to this family, and some outsider comes in and treats her like dirt. Aunt Marie: Eli, you need to grow a backbone and stand up for your grandmother. This is ridiculous. Patricia: I'm not coming to that shower if that's how Colleen is being treated. None of us should. Aunt Jan: count me out. I won't celebrate with someone who disrespects family. I felt like I'd been punched in the gut. I handed the phone back to Eli. My hands were shaking. They're all turning on me, I whispered. Over this? Eli just shook his head. They don't know what happened. Grandma probably told them a twisted version. I grabbed my own phone and opened Facebook. I don't even know why I did it. Masochism, I guess. Colleen's page was public, and there it was. A post from 20 minutes earlier. I'm heartbroken tonight. I tried so hard to help plan a beautiful baby shower for my grandson's baby, but I was cruelly rejected and told my ideas were tacky. I was asked to leave. I've never been so humiliated in my life. All I wanted was to give that baby the celebration it deserves. Please keep our family in your prayers during this difficult time. Some people just don't understand what family means. It had 47 likes already. The comments were a parade of sympathy. Oh, Colleen, you're such a good soul. Some people are just ungrateful. Don't you worry, honey. Karma is real. One woman, who I recognized as her neighbor, had commented, if you need to throw a real shower for the baby, use my backyard. That poor child deserves better. I threw my phone on the couch like it was on fire. She's posting about it on Facebook, Eli. She's painting herself as the victim and me as the villain for the entire world to see. Eli picked up my phone and read the post. His jaw tightened. I'm calling her. No, I said. Don't. It'll make it worse. But he was already dialing. He put it on speaker. It rang 4 times before she picked up. Her voice was thick, like she'd been crying, but there was something else underneath it. Satisfaction. Hello. She sniffled. Grandma, it's Eli. I saw your Facebook post. What are you doing? Oh, Eli. More sniffling. I'm just sharing my feelings. I'm allowed to share my feelings, aren't I? Your girlfriend hurt me deeply. I'm just leaning on my friends for support. You're making her look like a monster. That's not what happened, and you know it. I know what I experienced, Colleen said, her voice getting sharper. I went over there with nothing but love and gifts, and she screamed at me. She called my things trash. She told me to leave. What was I supposed to think? She didn't scream at you until you ignored her and started texting people to change the location of her shower. You were trying to take over Grandma. She asked you nicely multiple times. A pause. Then, a complete tone shift. The crying was gone. Her voice was cold. Eli, you listen to me. I am your grandmother. I changed your diapers. I fed you when your mother was too tired. I have earned the right to be involved in this baby's life. That girl you're with? She's temporary. You've been together for years. Big deal. She could leave tomorrow. I'm blood. You need to decide whose side you're on. My blood ran cold. I couldn't stay quiet anymore. I leaned toward the phone. He's on my side, Colleen, because I'm the one carrying his child. And I'm not temporary. So you can take your little pity party on Facebook and shove it. There was dead silence on the line for a solid 5 seconds. Then, Colleen's voice came through, low and venomous. Oh, the little girl speaks. You listen to me, you entitled brat. I've forgotten more about raising children than you'll ever know. You think you can just waltz into this family and start making demands? You're nothing. You're an incubator with an attitude. When that baby comes, you'll need me. You'll come crawling back, begging for help, and I'll remember this. I'll remember every single nasty word. heard. I felt tears burning in my eyes, but I was so angry I couldn't see straight. I'd rather raise this baby alone on the streets than take a single piece of advice from you. You're a manipulative, controlling narcissist who can't stand not being the center of attention. You don't care about this baby. You care about throwing a party, so everyone can tell you how wonderful you are. Well, here's the truth, Colleen. You're not wonderful. You're bitter and lonely, and you're trying to fill that hole in your life by bulldozing everyone around you. It's pathetic. I heard her sharp intake of breath. How dare you? How dare I? How dare you? You come into my home. You insult my theme. You try to invite strangers to my intimate shower. You post lies about me on the internet, and now you call me an incubator? You're dead to me, Colleen. Don't come to the shower. Don't come to the hospital. Don't come near my child. Ever. I reached over and ended the call. The silence in the room was deafening. Eli was staring at me, his eyes wide. I was breathing hard, my hand pressed to my stomach where the baby was doing gymnastics. I braced myself for him to be angry, to tell me I went too far. Instead, he just pulled me into a hug. I'm sorry, he whispered. I'm so sorry she did this to you. We stood there for a long time. Then my phone buzzed, and his phone buzzed, and then they wouldn't stop. I looked at mine. A text from an unknown number. You're a disgusting human being. Leave Colleen alone. Another unknown number. I saw what you posted. You should be ashamed. That woman is a treasure. Another. Karma is coming for you, sweetheart. Just wait. Eli's phone was lighting up with texts from his aunts. Aunt Jan. Eli, you need to come over here right now and explain yourself. Your grandmother is having chest pains. If she has a heart attack, it's on you too. Aunt Marie. I just got off the phone with Colleen. She's devastated. She said that girl called her every name in the book. I hope you're happy destroying this family. Patricia. Eli, your father and I are disgusted. Absolutely disgusted. We raised you better than this. That girl has turned you against your own blood. Don't bother coming to the barbecue this summer. We need space from this toxic situation. Mike, surprisingly, sent a private text just to Eli, not in the group chat. Dude, what the hell happened? Mom is losing her mind. Grandma is laying it on thick. You okay? Eli texted him back. No, not okay. Grandma came over and tried to hijack the baby shower. She lied to everyone. We told her the truth and she lost it. Now she's playing victim. Mike replied, damn. I figured there was more to it. Mom won't listen to reason right now. Just hang in there, I guess. The text kept coming for another hour. We eventually turned our phones on silent and just sat there, holding each other. I've never felt so isolated in my life. My own family is wonderful, supportive, excited. But his family? They've turned into a mob, all because I wouldn't let his grandmother turn my baby shower into her personal coronation. I finally checked my Facebook one last time before bed. Colleen had posted another update. Thank you all for the incredible outpouring of love and support. It means the world to me. I've decided to take the high road and will not be responding to any more negativity. I'm going to focus on my health and my family. Some bridges can't be mended, and that's okay. God sees everything. The comments were full of people calling me a monster, a brat, an ungrateful wretch. One woman commented, she doesn't deserve a shower. She doesn't deserve a family. Poor baby being born into this. I didn't sleep at all last night. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw Colleen's smug face, heard her voice calling me an incubator, saw the endless stream of hateful messages from strangers. The baby was moving constantly, like she could feel my stress. This morning, I had a doctor's appointment. My blood pressure was elevated. Not dangerously so, but enough that my doctor gave me a stern warning. She said if it doesn't come down, she'll have to consider inducing me early or putting me on hospital bed rest for monitoring. She asked if I had stressors I could eliminate. I just laughed. A hollow, tired laugh. So here I am, 34 weeks pregnant, public enemy number one in my partner's extended family, getting hate mail from strangers, and my health is now on the line. Before I tell you what happened in this story, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment and tell us what you think about the story and how you would react. I want to hear your thoughts. Eli is trying to be strong, but I can see how much this is eating at him. He loves his grandma, or at least he loves the idea of who she used to be, but he sees who she really is now. I don't know what to do about the shower. Sarah and my sister are still planning it, but they're scared. They've gotten messages too. Sarah got a friend request from one of Colleen's bridge club ladies with a message that just said, I hope you're proud of the company you keep. My sister got a comment on an old Instagram photo. Your sister is a family wrecker. This has spiraled so far out out of control. I never wanted any of this. I just wanted a cute little brunch with the people I love. And now I'm the villain in a story Colleen is telling to anyone who will listen. Eli just got a certified letter in the mail. It's from a lawyer. Not a lawsuit, not yet. It's a letter on behalf of Colleen, demanding that we cease and desist all defamatory statements and publicly apologize for the emotional distress we've caused her. She's actually lawyering up over a baby shower argument. I can't make this up. My mom is on her way over. She's bringing food and a level head. She doesn't know about the lawyer letter yet. I have to tell her. I have to tell everyone. And I have no idea what happens next. Update 1. So, the last week has been an absolute war zone. Thank you for all the support. It really helped me stay grounded. The day after my last post, I woke up to about 30 WhatsApp messages. All from numbers I didn't recognize. It was Colleen's Bridge Club. They were asking for the new address for the shower, what food they should bring, and congratulating me on having such a generous grandmother-in-law who is saving my party. One woman, Doris, sent me a voice note saying, "Don't you worry, dear. We know how to throw a proper party. Colleen said you were feeling overwhelmed. We'll take it from here." I was livid. Colleen had given them my number. I screenshot the messages and sent them to the family group chat that includes Eli's parents and his brother. I just wrote, "Can someone please explain to me why I am getting texts from strangers about my baby shower?" Eli's mom, Patricia, replied almost instantly, "Oh, honey, Colleen is just excited. Don't make a federal case out of it." His brother, Mike, sent a laughing emoji. "Better get used to it. She runs everything." That was it. That was their response. Eli tried to call his mom, but she just told him to let Colleen have her fun. It makes her happy. The stress was getting so bad my doctor called me personally after I sent a message about increased swelling. She told me I needed to eliminate stressors immediately, or she would be forced to put me on bed rest at the hospital for monitoring. That was my line. I called an emergency meeting. I told Eli that if his family wasn't going to back me up, I was done. I was going to cancel the whole thing. No shower at all. He finally saw the panic in my eyes and agreed. He called his dad and told him we needed to have a face-to-face at their house. We went over there last night. Colleen was already there, sitting like a queen on the throne in the living room. She looked at me with a smirk. "Come to apologize?" I didn't sit down. "No. I came to tell you in front of everyone to stop. You're causing me so much stress that my doctor is threatening to hospitalize me. You have my phone number. You gave it out. You are telling people the shower is at a different location. It stops now." Patricia sighed dramatically. "Can we not do this? My blood pressure can't take it." Mike was on his phone, not even looking up. Colleen's smirk didn't falter. "Oh, the poor little mother. So delicate. You know, in my day, we didn't whine about stress. We just got things done. If you can't handle a little party planning, how are you going to handle a baby? Maybe the baby is better off with someone who can actually handle pressure." That was it. The insult. She questioned my ability to be a mother. Something snapped in me. Not loud, but cold. I looked her dead in the eye. "Let's get one thing straight. You will never be alone with my child. You will never babysit. You will never have unsupervised visits. You just proved you have no respect for me as the mother, so you get no access to the baby. That's the consequence." The room went silent. Mike finally looked up. Patricia gasped. Colleen stood up, her face purple. "You can't do that. That's my great-grandchild." "I just did," I said. My voice was shaking, but I held it. She then turned to Eli, pointing a shaking finger at me. "You're going to let this outsider talk to me like that? She's keeping my family from me. You're just going to stand there?" Eli stepped forward, putting a hand on my back. "Grandma, you started this. You've been bullying her for weeks. She asked you to stop and you didn't. This is on you." Mike snickered. "Wow. Grandma just got burned." Patricia stood up, trying to play peacemaker. Okay, let's all just calm down. "Colleen, you need to back off. And you," she said, turning to me, "you can't just threaten to keep a baby away from family. That's cruel. You need to apologize to her for saying that." I couldn't believe it. I was the one being told to apologize. I looked at Patricia. "Did you just hear what she said to me? She said my baby would be better off without me. And you want me to apologize? It's just how she talks," Patricia said, waving it off. "You're being too sensitive." "No," I said, my voice getting stronger. "You're all so used to her bulldozing everyone that you think it's normal. It's not. And I'm not playing along anymore." Colleen, seeing she was losing control of the narrative, went for the jugular. She sneered at me. "You think you're so high and mighty with your little book theme and your fancy venue. You know what your problem is? You're a nobody. You're just some girl my grandson knocked up trying to act like you're part of this family. You'll never be one of us. And you know what? I hope the baby looks nothing like you." The room went icy cold. Eli stiffened beside me. Even Mike looked uncomfortable. I felt tears prick my eyes, but I refused to let them fall. I took a deep breath. And you, I said, my voice quiet but clear, are a bitter, controlling old woman who is so desperate for attention that she has to hijack someone else's life event. You have to bully a pregnant woman to feel important. That's not being the matriarch. That's being pathetic. And I feel sorry for you. I turned to Eli. I'm done. Let's go. We walked out. Behind us, I could hear Colleen wailing to Patricia. Did you hear what she called me? Are you going to let her talk to me like that? Patricia was just shushing her, like you'd shush a child. I'm home now. The doctor's appointment is tomorrow. I don't know what's going to happen. I've blocked Colleen's number. I've left the family group chat, but I know this isn't over. I thought that was the end of the night. I was wrong. So wrong. We got home around 9 p.m. I was exhausted, emotionally drained, and my back was killing me. Eli made me some tea, and I was just starting to relax on the couch when my phone rang. It was an unknown number, but with a local area code. I almost didn't answer, but some stupid part of me thought it might be the doctor's office or something. I answered. Hello, is this the girl who thinks she can keep a great-grandchild away from her family? The voice was female, older, dripping with contempt. My heart stopped. Who is this? This is Margie. I'm Colleen's best friend for 40 years, and I just want you to know that you are a disgrace. That woman has done more for her community than you'll ever do in your entire pathetic life. She raised 3 children. She buried her husband with dignity, and she has never once been spoken to the way you spoke to her tonight. You should be on your knees thanking her for wanting to be involved, not tearing her down. I was so stunned I couldn't speak for a second. Then the anger hit me like a wave. Margie, I don't know you. You don't know me. You don't know what happened tonight. So with all due respect, stay out of it. Oh, I know exactly what happened, Margie snapped. Colleen called me crying. She told me everything. You called her names. You threatened to take her grandbaby away. You humiliated her in front of her own daughter-in-law. And for what? Because she wanted to throw you a nice party? You're sick. You're absolutely sick. My grip on the phone tightened. She told you she wanted to throw me a party? She told you she was being nice? Did she tell you she showed up at my house uninvited with decorations I didn't want? Did she tell you she tried to move my shower to a church hall without asking me? Did she tell you she gave my phone number to her bridge club and they've been harassing me for days? Did she tell you she called me an incubator? Did she tell you she said my baby would be better off without me? Silence on the line. Then, defensively, she wouldn't say those things. You're lying. I'm not lying. And I don't have to justify myself to you. You're a stranger. Goodbye, Margie. I hung up. My hands were shaking so badly, I nearly dropped the phone. Eli looked at me, concerned. Who was that? One of Colleen's flying monkeys, I said bitterly. Her best friend called to tell me I'm a disgrace. Before Eli could respond, my phone rang again. Another unknown number. I declined it. It rang again, declined, again, and again. I finally turned my phone off. Eli's phone started ringing. He looked at the screen. Unknown number. He declined it. Then his phone pinged with a text. Unknown number. He read it out loud. Your girlfriend is a monster. You deserve better than someone who destroys families. Think about what you're doing. I felt sick. Literally sick. I ran to the bathroom and threw up. The stress was too much. When I came back, Eli was on his phone, typing. Asked him what he was doing. Posting on my Facebook, he said grimly. I'm done with the silence. I grabbed his arm. Eli, don't. It'll make it worse. He shook his head. It can't get worse. They're calling you a monster. They're harassing us. Grandma is lying to everyone. I'm not letting her control the narrative anymore. He posted. For everyone who keeps texting me and my girlfriend about the baby shower situation, here's the truth. Grandma Colleen showed up at our house uninvited, tried to change the venue, tried to invite 15 strangers, insulted my girlfriend's theme, and when we said no, she called my girlfriend an incubator and said our baby would be better off without her. She's been harassing us for weeks. My girlfriend is 34 weeks pregnant with a high-risk pregnancy, and her doctor is threatening hospital bed rest because of the stress grandma is causing. So before you send another hateful message, ask yourself if you really know the whole story, because you don't. Within minutes, the comments started. Some were supportive, most were not. One woman, presumably another Bridge Club member, commented, "How dare you speak about your grandmother like that publicly? Have you no shame?" Another, "Colleen would never say those things. You're lying to save face." Another, "This is a family matter. Take it private." Then came the screenshot. Someone had taken Eli's post and sent it to Colleen. Within 20 minutes, Colleen posted her own response on Facebook. She didn't tag us, but it was clearly aimed at us. I never thought I'd see the day my own grandson would attack me publicly. I have loved that boy since since the day he was born. I held him when he was sick. I stayed up with him when he had nightmares. And this is how he repays me? By spreading lies about me on the internet? I did not call anyone names. I did not harass anyone. I offered to help with a baby shower and was cruelly rejected. I have the text messages to prove it. I have witnesses. My family knows the truth. God knows the truth. And that's all that matters. The comments on her post were vicious. She's gaslighting you, Colleen. Don't you worry. We all know who the real victim is here. That girl is poison. I hope your grandson wakes up before it's too late. Eli's Aunt Jan commented, Colleen, you are a saint. Don't let them break you. We all support you 100%. Aunt Marie commented, I'm disgusted by my own nephew. Absolutely disgusted. Patricia, Eli's mom, commented, Mom, I'm so sorry this is happening. We're here for you. Always. I scrolled through the comments, feeling more and more detached. It was like watching a train wreck in slow motion. These people, who had known Eli his whole life, were turning on him without a second thought. All because Colleen had painted herself as the victim. Then my phone rang again. This time, it was a number I recognized. Patricia, Eli's mom. I hesitated, then answered. Hello. You need to tell your boyfriend to take that post down right now. Patricia's voice was cold, furious. Do you have any idea what you're doing to this family? Colleen is devastated. She's been crying for hours. Her blood pressure is through the roof. If she ends up in the hospital, it's on you too. I took a deep breath. Patricia, with all due respect, she started this. She's been lying about us. She called me an incubator. She said my baby would be better off without me. We're just telling the truth. The truth. Patricia laughed, a harsh, bitter sound. You don't know the truth. Colleen has done more for this family than you could ever imagine. She took me in when my own mother threw me out. She helped raise my boys when I was working 2 jobs. She deserves respect. And you come in here, pregnant with her great-grandchild, and treat her like dirt? Who do you think you are? I'm the mother of her great-grandchild, I said, my voice shaking. And I deserve respect too. I deserve to have the baby shower I want. I deserve not to be harassed. I deserve not to be called names. Why is her comfort more important than my health? Because she's family, Patricia snapped. You're just the girlfriend. You're not married. You could leave tomorrow and take that baby with you, and we'd never see it again. She's terrified of that. Can't you see that? She's just trying to secure her place in that baby's life. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. So, her solution is to bully me? Before I tell you what happened in this story, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment and tell us what you think about the story and how you would react. I want to hear your thoughts. To stress me out so badly that my doctor is threatening to hospitalize me? That's how she secures her place? By making sure I'm so sick I can't function. You're being dramatic, Patricia said. You're fine. You're just pregnant. Women have been having babies for thousands of years. You don't need to be coddled. I felt the tears coming, but I refused to let her hear me cry. I'm not being dramatic. I'm being medically monitored. My doctor is concerned. And you're telling me I'm fine?
You don't get to decide that.
You don't get to decide anything about my pregnancy. I'm not trying to decide anything, Patricia said, her voice rising. I'm trying to keep the peace. And you're making that impossible. You need to apologize to Colleen. You need to let her help with the shower. You need to stop this nonsense before you tear this family apart. Tear this family apart? I almost laughed. Patricia, look at what's happening. Your mother-in-law is lying about us on Facebook. Her friends are harassing us. Your aunts are calling us disgusting. And you want me to apologize? For what? For existing? For wanting one day to be about me and my baby? Yes, Patricia said flatly. For exactly that. You've been here for years. You're still an outsider. You don't get to come in and change everything. You don't get to dictate how this family works. Colleen is the matriarch. You respect her. That's how it is. I was silent for a long moment. Then quietly I said, no, that's not how it is. Not anymore. I'm done being the outsider who just takes it. I'm done smiling and nodding while she bulldozes me. I'm done being called names and then being told to apologize for defending myself. If that means I'm not part of this family, then so be it. Because honestly, if this is what being part of this family means, I don't want it. I hung up. Then I blocked Patricia's number. Eli was watching me the whole time. When I hung up, he just pulled me into a hug. I'm so sorry, he whispered. I'm so sorry. We sat there for a long time not talking. Then my phone, still in my hand, buzzed with a text. It was from Mike, Eli's brother. Not in the group chat.
Just to me.
I'm really sorry about all this. Mom and Grandma Grandma are out of control. I try to talk to them, but they won't listen. Just know I don't believe any of what they're saying about you. You've always been cool to me. If you need anything, let me know. And congrats on the baby.
I mean that.
I showed Eli. He read it and sighed. At least one of them has a brain. I texted Mike back. Thank you. That means more than you know. The next morning, I had my doctor's appointment. My blood pressure was still elevated. Not critical, but not good. My doctor was firm. She said if it doesn't come down in the next 48 hours, she's admitting me. She asked again about stressors. I told her everything. She listened, nodded, and then said something that surprised me. Here's the thing about stress and pregnancy, she said. It's not just about you. When your blood pressure spikes, it affects the baby's blood supply. It affects their oxygen. It affects their growth. So when I tell you to eliminate stressors, I'm not just being dramatic. I'm telling you that for the health of your baby, you need to remove yourself from situations that cause this reaction. If that means cutting people off, you cut them off. If that means canceling the shower, you cancel it. If that means blocking everyone who contacts you, you block them. Nothing is more important than that baby's health. Nothing. I left the appointment with a new prescription for blood pressure medication and a new resolve. I wasn't going to let Colleen or Patricia or any of their flying monkeys hurt my baby. On the way home, Eli's phone rang. It was his dad, Robert. Eli put it on speaker. Son, Robert's voice was heavy. I need you to come over. Alone. We need to talk. Eli glanced at me. Dad, I'm with. I know who you're with. I need to talk to you alone. Family business. Eli's jaw tightened. Anything you have to say to me, you can say in front of her. She's my family now. A long pause. Then, Robert sighed. Fine, but you're not going to like what I have to say. Say it. Your grandmother is in the hospital. My heart dropped. Eli's face went pale. What? Is she okay? She's fine. She's being kept overnight for observation. Her blood pressure spiked last night after all the Facebook drama. The doctor said it was stress-induced. Son, you did this. You and your girlfriend. You stressed her out so badly, she ended up in the hospital. I need you to come down here, apologize to her, and fix this. Eli's face went from pale to red. Wait, hold on. Her blood pressure spiked? From stress? You're kidding me, right? I'm not kidding anyone. She's in the hospital. Dad, my girlfriend is 34 weeks pregnant with a high-risk pregnancy. Her doctor just put her on medication because her blood pressure is through the roof. And you know what caused it? Grandma. Grandma and her bridge club and her lies on Facebook and her harassment. But you're not in the hospital demanding Grandma apologize, are you? You're calling me to tell me to apologize to her. Silence on the line. Then, Robert's voice harder. That's different. Colleen is old. She's fragile. She's not fragile, Eli snapped. She's manipulative. And if she's in the hospital, it's because she worked herself up playing the victim, not because we did anything wrong. I'm not apologizing. I'm not coming down there. And if you call me again to defend her, I'm blocking you too. Eli, don't you dare. Eli hung up. He looked at me, his eyes bright with unshed tears. I can't believe this. I can't believe any of this. I reached for his hand. I'm sorry. Don't be sorry. You didn't do anything. They did this. All of them. We drove home in silence. When we got there, there was a package on our doorstep. It was small, wrapped in brown paper. No return address. Eli picked it up carefully. What is this? I shook my head. I don't know. Open it inside. We went in. Eli opened the package. Inside was a onesie. A white onesie. And written on it in permanent marker was one word. Unwanted. I stared at it. For a long moment, I couldn't process what I was seeing. Then the sobs came. Great, heaving sobs that shook my entire body. Eli wrapped his arms around me, but I could feel him shaking too. Not with tears, with rage. He grabbed his phone and took a photo of the onesie. He posted it on Facebook, on Instagram, on every platform he had. The caption, someone left this on our doorstep. If you have anything to do with this, if you support the people who did this, if you think this is funny or justified, you are dead to me. Dead. I don't care who you are. This is my child, my unborn child. And anyone who wishes harm on my child or the mother of my child is not family. They're not even human. The responses were immediate. Shock. Horror. A few people expressed sympathy, but most of his family was silent. No comments from Patricia. No comments from Jan or Marie. No comments from Colleen, though we had her blocked. Then, an hour later, a new Facebook post appeared. From Colleen's account. Someone must have shown her Eli's post. She wrote, "I am horrified and heartbroken that someone would do such a thing. I would never, ever wish harm on a baby. No matter what differences we have, that baby is innocent. I am praying for whoever did this. I am also praying for my grandson and his girlfriend. I hope they find it in their hearts to forgive whoever did this. And I hope they know that I am not behind this. I would never. My faith would never allow it." The comments flooded in. "Of course you wouldn't, Colleen. You're too good for this family. See? She's not the monster they painted her as. This is clearly someone trying to make Colleen look bad." I read her post and felt a cold, hard certainty settle in my chest. I didn't believe her. Not for a second. The timing was too perfect. The wording was too careful. She was distancing herself while simultaneously making herself look like the bigger person. It was classic Colleen. I didn't respond. I didn't have the energy. I just turned off my phone, curled up on the couch, and cried until I couldn't cry anymore. The next 48 hours were a blur. My mom came over and stayed. She cooked, she cleaned, she ran interference. She answered the door when more packages arrived. Most were harmless, well-meaning gifts from people who'd seen Eli's post and wanted to show support. But one was not. A small envelope with no return address. Inside was a single sheet of paper with a printed message. "You'll never be rid of us. We're family, and family never gives up." I called the police. They took a report. They said without a return address or identifiable information, there wasn't much they could do. They suggested security cameras.
Eli ordered some that night.
My blood pressure stabilized, barely. My doctor agreed to let me stay home as long as I rested and monitored it twice a day. I wasn't allowed to work. I wasn't allowed to stress. I wasn't allowed to do much of anything except lie on the couch and watch TV. The baby shower was officially canceled. Sarah and my sister were devastated, but they understood. I couldn't handle it, not with everything else going on. We decided we'd do a small sip and see after the baby was born, when I could actually enjoy it without the threat of Colleen or her minions showing up. Eli's family went silent. No texts, no calls, no Facebook comments. It was like they'd vanished. Even Mike stopped responding. I didn't know if that was his choice or if they'd gotten to him. And then yesterday, a certified letter arrived. Not from a lawyer this time. From Colleen. Handwritten. Eli opened it. We read it together. "Dear Eli and my name, I am writing this letter with a heavy heart. The last few weeks have been the most difficult of my life. I have prayed and prayed for guidance, and I believe God has shown me the way. I want to apologize, not for wanting to be involved in the baby's life, because that comes from a place of love, but for the way I went about it. I should have listened to you. I should have respected your wishes. I was excited, and I let that excitement turn into something else. Something I'm not proud of. I also want you to know that I had nothing to do with that horrible onesie. I would never. I have my faults, but wishing harm on a baby is not one of them. I hope you can believe that. I'm not asking for forgiveness.
Not yet.
I know I don't deserve it. I'm just asking for a chance. A chance to prove that I can be different. A chance to be part of this baby's life, even if it's from a distance. I'm old. I don't have many years left. I don't want to spend them at war with my own grandson and the mother of my great-grandchild.
Please think about it.
That's all I ask. With love, Grandma Colleen." I read the letter 3 times. Then I looked at Eli. His face was unreadable. "What do you think?" I asked.
He was quiet for a long time.
Then he said, "I think it's a good letter. I think she probably means some of it, but I also think she's a master manipulator, and this could be another angle." I nodded. That's exactly what I was thinking. "So what do we do?" I looked down at my stomach, where the baby was kicking gently. I thought about the onesie. I thought about the messages. I thought about the hospital visits and the blood pressure medication and the crying and the stress. I thought about Colleen's smug face in Patricia's living room, calling me an incubator. "I don't know," I said honestly. "I really don't know. So here we are, letter in hand, baby due any day now, family in shambles, and no idea what comes next. I'm still not answering unknown numbers. I'm still not on social media. I'm just existing, waiting, hoping that when this baby comes, the chaos will settle. But I'm not holding my breath. I'll update when there's something to update. Until then, thanks for listening. It helps, weirdly, to write it all out, to know that somewhere out there people understand, or at least they're not calling me a monster. Update 2. I didn't think I'd be writing again. I honestly thought after that letter, things would either explode or fade into silence. They did neither. They simmered, and then they boiled over in a way I never saw coming. 2 weeks passed after that letter arrived. 2 weeks of radio silence from Colleen and most of Eli's family. No texts, no calls, no packages. The security cameras Eli installed only captured delivery drivers and the occasional occasional neighbor walking their dog. It felt like a ceasefire, an uneasy, tension-filled ceasefire, but a ceasefire nonetheless. My blood pressure stayed stable. The baby kept growing. I made it to 37 weeks, then 38. My doctor was cautiously optimistic. She said if I made it to 39, she'd let me go natural. I started to believe, just a little, that maybe the worst was behind us. Eli and I talked about the letter constantly. What did she really want? Was it genuine? Was it a trap? We analyzed every word, every comma, every possible hidden meaning. In the end, we decided on a response. Not forgiveness, not reconciliation, just acknowledgement. Eli wrote back a short handwritten note. Grandma, we got your letter. We appreciate the apology. We need time to process everything that's happened. When we're ready to talk, we'll reach out.
Please respect our space until then.
Eli, he mailed it. We didn't hear back.
We took that as a good sign.
Then came the group chat. I'd left the family chat weeks ago, but Eli had stayed, mostly muted, just to keep a pulse on things. He'd check it occasionally, scrolling through the messages with a mix of morbid curiosity and dread. His mom and aunts mostly talked about recipes, TV shows, and church events. Colleen never posted.
It was like she wasn't even there.
Until last Thursday. Eli was at work. I was on the couch, feet up, watching bad daytime TV, when my phone buzzed. It was a text from Eli. Check the group chat.
Now.
I frowned. I couldn't check the group chat. I wasn't in it. I texted him back. I'm not in it anymore, remember? His response was immediate. Mike added you back 5 minutes ago. Just check it. I opened WhatsApp. Sure enough, there was the family chat, active and blowing up. I scrolled to the top to see what had started it. It was a photo of a nursery. Not my nursery, someone else's. Bright yellow walls, a jungle theme, a massive crib, stacks of gifts. And in the center of the photo, beaming, was Colleen, holding a baby. Not my baby, a different baby. The caption, from Colleen herself, my new great-grandbaby. Little Anthony arrived yesterday. 8 pounds, 2 ounces. Mother and baby doing well.
So blessed.
So grateful. Family is everything. I stared at the photo, my brain struggling to process. Great-grandbaby? Little Anthony? Who is this baby? Whose baby was this? Then the messages started rolling in. Aunt Jan, oh my goodness. Congratulations. He's beautiful. Anne-Marie, Colleen, you look so happy. So wonderful. Patricia, Mom, I'm so thrilled for you. Can't wait to meet him. Friend of the family, someone named Brenda. What a blessing. Congratulations to the family. And then a message from someone I didn't recognize, a woman named Tina. Thanks everyone. We're so happy and tired. Grandma Colleen has been a huge help already.
Tina.
I didn't know a Tina. Eli had never mentioned a Tina. I scrolled back through the photos, looking for context, and then I found it. A post from 3 days earlier from Patricia announcing that cousin Tina had been admitted to the hospital in labor. Cousin Tina. I racked my brain. Eli had cousins, I knew that, but they were scattered, distant. He rarely talked about them. Apparently, one of them had been pregnant, and no one had said a word to us. I felt sick, not jealous, not exactly, just replaced. Like we'd been written out of the script entirely. Colleen had her great-grandbaby, just not ours. She'd moved on, found another pregnant relative to fawn over, to help, to claim. And the family was celebrating like nothing had ever happened. Like the last 2 months of chaos, of harassment, of cruelty had been erased. Eli came home early that day. He'd seen the chat. He was quiet, withdrawn. We didn't talk about it much. What was there to say? Colleen had found her do-over. We were irrelevant. I thought that was the end. I thought we'd just fade away, become the black sheep who were never mentioned. And honestly, part of me was relieved. No more drama. No more stress. Just us and the baby and my family, who had been nothing but supportive. But Colleen, it turns out, wasn't done with us. She was just saving her best performance for last. Last Saturday, I went into labor. It was sudden, intense, and terrifying. 1 minute I was making toast. The next I was on the floor, gripping the kitchen counter, while Eli frantically called the hospital. They told us to come in.
Now.
The drive was a blur. Eli ran every red light. I was in the back seat, breathing the way they taught us, trying not to panic. We made it. They rushed me inside. Eli was there, holding my hand, his face pale and scared. 12 hours later, our daughter was born. 7 pounds, 11 ounces. 20 inches long. Perfect in every way. Dark hair, just like me. Eli cut the cord. He cried. I cried. The nurse nurses cried. It was the most beautiful, overwhelming moment of my life. We named her Lily, after my grandmother, who passed away when I was 16. It felt right. It felt like she was watching over us. We didn't announce it publicly. No Facebook post, no Instagram announcement. Just a few texts to my mom, my sister, Sarah, and Mike. Eli sent Mike a photo. Mike replied immediately, "She's perfect."
Congrats, man.
I'm so happy for you both. That was it. That was all we needed. We stayed in the hospital for 2 days. Recovery was rough, but Lily was healthy, and that's all that mattered. We were scheduled to go home on Tuesday morning. Monday night, around 8 p.m., there was a knock on my hospital room door. I was half asleep, Lily in the bassinet beside me. Eli was in the chair, scrolling on his phone. We both looked up. The door opened, and in walked Colleen. Behind her stood Patricia. Behind Patricia stood Aunt Jan and Aunt Marie. And behind them, a woman I didn't recognize holding a newborn. Tina, I assumed. The cousin with the new baby. I sat up so fast I pulled something. Pain shot through my abdomen. Eli was on his feet instantly, moving between them and me. "What are you doing here?" His voice was low, dangerous. "How did you find out?" Patricia held up her phone. "Mike, he's not as loyal as you think. He sent us the photo. We're family. We have a right to be here."
Mike.
My stomach dropped. The one person I thought was on our side. The one person who'd been kind. He'd sold us out. Colleen stepped forward, pushing past Eli like he wasn't even there. She walked straight to the bassinet and looked down at Lily. Her face was unreadable. For a long moment, no one spoke. Then she looked up at me. "She looks like you. That's a shame." The room went ice cold. Eli grabbed her arm. "Get out.
Now."
She shook him off. "Don't you dare touch me. I am here to see my great-grandchild. You can't keep me away. That's kidnapping. That's illegal. I have rights." "You have no rights," I said, my voice shaking. "You have no rights to my child. Get out of my room." Patricia stepped forward, her voice dripping with false concern. "We just want to meet her." "Is that so wrong? We're family. We drove 2 hours to be here. You can't just—" "I can." I cut her off. "I can, and I am."
"Leave now,
"Or I'll call security." Aunt Jan snorted. "Call security. Go ahead. Make a scene. Let everyone see what kind of person you really are. Let the nurses see how you treat your baby's family." Aunt Marie nodded. "We're not leaving until we hold that baby. That's our blood. You don't get to decide who holds her." I looked at Eli. His face was red, his fists clenched. He looked like he was about to explode. I reached for the call button on my bed rail. Before I could press it, Colleen spoke again. Her voice was soft, almost kind. It was more terrifying than any scream. "You know," she said, still looking at Lily, "I've been thinking a lot about what happened. About the onesie. About the letter. About all of it. And I've come to a realization." She turned to face me. "You're not the victim here. You never were. You're just a girl who got in the way. A speed bump. And speed bumps don't last. They get worn down. They get removed." Eli stepped forward. "That's it. You're done." He grabbed his phone. "I'm calling security." "Go ahead," Colleen said calmly. "But before you do, I want you to know something. I have a lawyer. A real one this time. Not just a letter. And I'm prepared to go to court for visitation rights. Great-grandparents have rights in this state. I've done my research. You can't just cut me out because you don't like me. The courts care about the best interest of the child. And what's in the best interest of that child is having a family. A real family. Not just you two and your little isolated bubble. A big, loving, supportive family."
Me.
Her aunts. Her cousins. She gestured to Tina, who was standing silently in the doorway, holding her own baby. "I have options. I have resources. And I have time." I felt the blood drain from my face. A lawsuit. She was threatening a lawsuit for visitation with my newborn. Before I tell you what happened in this story, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Drop a comment and tell us what you think about the story and how you would react. I want to hear your thoughts. Patricia nodded, backing her up. "She's right. You've been unreasonable from the start. Any judge will see that. You kept her from the baby shower. You kept her from the pregnancy. You've been keeping her from the baby. That's not healthy. That's not normal. That's alienation." Aunt Jan chimed in. "We have witnesses. We have texts. We have the Facebook posts. We have everything. You think you're the only one who can play dirty? You think we haven't been documenting this whole thing?" I couldn't breathe. The room was spinning. Lily, sensing my distress, dress, started to fuss in the bassinet. Her little cries cut through the tension like a knife. Eli pressed the call button. Security to room 412.
Now.
Colleen smiled, a slow, satisfied smile. This isn't over. This is just the beginning. You'll hear from my lawyer. And next time, you won't be able to just block me. Next time, you'll have to answer. The door opened. A security guard stepped in, a large man with a calm face. Is there a problem here? Yes, Eli said. These people are not authorized to be here. They're harassing my wife. Please remove them. The guard looked at the group of women, then at me, pale and shaking in the bed, then at the fussing baby. He nodded. Ladies, I'm going to have to ask you to leave. Patricia opened her mouth to argue, but Colleen held up a hand. It's fine. We're going. We've said what we came to say. She looked at me one last time. Enjoy your time with her. It won't last forever. They filed out. Tina, the cousin, glanced back at me as she left. Her face was apologetic, scared. She mouthed something. I'm sorry. Then she was gone. The door closed behind them. The guard asked if we were okay. Eli said yes, thanked him, and he left. The room was silent except for Lily's cries and my ragged breathing. Eli went to the bassinet and picked Lily up. He held her close, rocking her gently. She quieted almost immediately. He looked at me, his eyes red-rimmed. She can't do that, right? She can't actually sue for visitation. I didn't know. I honestly didn't know. I pulled out my phone and started Googling great-grandparent visitation rights. The results were mixed. It varied by state. Some states allowed it, especially if there was an established relationship. But we hadn't let her establish a relationship. We'd blocked her at every turn. Did that help us or hurt us? I didn't sleep that night. Eli didn't either. We held Lily and talked in whispers, trying to figure out our next move. By morning, we had a plan. We'd call a lawyer, a real one. We'd get ahead of this. We'd fight. But first, we had to go home. Discharge was a blur of paperwork and instructions. My mom picked us up. She took one look at our faces and knew something was wrong. We told her quietly in the car. She went pale, but didn't say much. Just squeezed my hand and said, "We'll handle it, whatever it takes." We got home. The apartment felt different, smaller, less safe. Eli installed extra locks on the doors. I checked the cameras obsessively. Every sound made me jump. Every car that slowed down outside made my heart race. The lawyer, a woman named Donna that my mom recommended, was reassuring but honest. She said great-grandparent rights were a long shot, especially without an established relationship. But she also said Colleen could make our lives miserable, file motions, demand mediation, drag us to court. It would be expensive, time-consuming, and emotionally draining. She advised us to document everything, every text, every voicemail, every package, and to not engage, no matter what. We agreed. No engagement, no response. We'd let the lawyers handle it. For a week, there was nothing. No calls, no texts, no certified letters. We started to relax, just a little. Lily was settling into a routine. I was healing. Eli went back to work. Life felt almost normal. Then the package arrived. It was a Saturday. Eli was at the store. I was on the couch, Lily asleep on my chest, when there was a knock on the door. I froze. The cameras showed a delivery driver holding a large box. He left it on the doorstep and drove away. I waited until Eli got home to open it. We brought it inside, set it on the kitchen table, and stared at it. No return address. Just our name and address, printed on a label. Eli opened it carefully like it might explode. Inside, nestled in tissue paper, was a baby blanket, hand-knitted, pale pink, beautiful, and on top of it, a card. I picked up the card. It was handwritten, the same handwriting as the letter from Colleen. For Lily, from her great-grandma. I made this with love. I hope one day you'll let me give it to her in person. Until then, know that I'm thinking of her. Always. Colleen, beneath the card was a newspaper clipping, an obituary. I read it, confused. It was for a man I didn't know. Harold Miller, 78, beloved husband, father, grandfather, and great-grandfather. Passed peacefully at home surrounded by family. I looked at Eli. Who is Harold Miller? Eli's face was as confused as mine. I don't know. I've never heard that name. We searched the name online. Nothing connecting to Colleen, to Patricia, to anyone. It was a complete mystery. Why send this? What was the point? Then Eli's phone rang. It was Mike. Eli answered, putting it on speaker. Hey. Mike's voice was hesitant. Did you get a package? Yeah, Eli said. A blanket. And an obituary. Who is Harold Miller? Mike sighed. That's Grandma's brother. Her older brother. He died last week. The funeral was yesterday. She's been a mess. Crying nonstop. Talking about how family is all you have at the end. How she doesn't want to die alone. How she just wants to see the baby before she goes. I felt a flicker of something. Sympathy? Pity? I pushed it down. Mike, she showed up at the hospital. She threatened to sue us. She called Lily's looks a shame. She's not a victim. I know, Mike said quietly. I know all of that, but I also know she's 82 years old. She just lost her brother. She's scared, and she's reaching out the only way she knows how, which is badly. Always badly. Eli ran a hand through his hair. Why are you telling us this, Mike? Are you trying to guilt us into something? No, Mike said quickly.
No.
I'm not. I thought you should know. So you have the full picture. What you do with it is up to you. I'm not taking sides anymore. I'm done. This whole thing has been a nightmare. I just want my nephew to be okay and my family to stop tearing itself apart. We were silent for a moment. Then I asked, Mike, did you tell them I was in the hospital? Did you give them the room number? Long pause. Then quietly, yeah, I did.
I'm sorry.
Mom called me crying, saying grandma was having chest pains, saying she just wanted to see the baby once, just once before she died. I thought if they just saw her, it would fix things. I was wrong. I'm sorry. Eli closed his eyes. Mike, I'm not mad. I'm just tired. So tired. I know. Me too. Look, I gotta go. But for what it's worth, I don't think grandma is going to sue.
She's all talk.
She just wants attention. Always has. Take care of Lily. She's lucky to have you both. He hung up. Eli and I looked at each other, then at the blanket, then at Lily, still sleeping peacefully on my chest. The next day, I made a decision. I told Eli I wanted to see Colleen. One time, in a public place, with witnesses. I wanted to look her in the eye and end this, one way or another. Eli was hesitant, but he agreed. He called Patricia, who was shocked but agreed to set it up. A neutral location, a coffee shop halfway between us. Just Colleen, Patricia, me, and Eli. No aunts, no bridge club. No lawyers. We met on a Tuesday afternoon. I left Lily with my mom. I wasn't bringing her anywhere near that woman. Colleen was already there when we arrived, sitting in a booth with Patricia. She looked older than I remembered, smaller. Her hands, wrapped around a coffee cup, were trembling slightly. When she saw us, her face flickered through a dozen emotions before settling on something almost like nervousness. We sat down across from them. No one spoke for a long moment. Then Colleen cleared her throat. Thank you for coming. I know you didn't have to. I didn't respond. Eli nodded slightly. Patricia shifted uncomfortably. Look, I know things have been difficult. We've all said things we regret, but we're family. And family, stop. I held up a hand. I didn't come here to hear about family. I came here to say something, and I'm only going to say it once. They both stared at me. Colleen's eyes were wary. I took a deep breath. You have caused me more stress in the last 2 months of my pregnancy than I thought possible. You called me names. You harassed me. You sent your friends to harass me. You lied about me on Facebook. You showed up at the hospital uninvited. You threatened to sue me. You sent a onesie to my house that said unwanted. Colleen flinched. I didn't. I don't care if you sent it or not. I cut her off. You created the environment where someone thought that was okay. You painted me as the villain. You turned your friends and family against me. You made my pregnancy a living nightmare. And for what? Because I wanted a small baby shower? Because I didn't want your bridge club there? Because I dared to say no to you? Tears were forming in Colleen's eyes. Real or fake? I couldn't tell. I didn't care. Lily is my daughter. Mine and Eli's. Not yours. Not Patricia's. Not the family's.
Ours.
You don't have rights to her. You don't have a claim to her. You don't get to demand access to her. You don't get to guilt us into letting you see her. You don't get to use your age or your dead brother or your loneliness as a weapon against us. Patricia opened her mouth, but I kept going, my voice rising. You want to know why you're not in her life? It's not because I'm a monster. It's not because I'm isolating Eli. It's because you, Colleen, are a bully. You've spent your whole life bulldozing people and calling it love. And when someone finally stands up to you, you play the victim. You send your flying monkeys. You post on Facebook. You threaten lawsuits. You do everything except look in the mirror and ask yourself if maybe, just maybe, you're the problem. Colleen was crying now, real tears streaming down her face. Patricia put an arm around her, glaring at me. That's enough. You've said your piece. Now leave. No, I said. I'm not done. Colleen, look at me. She looked up, her eyes red and wet. I'm not here to torture you. I'm not here to get revenge. I'm here to draw a line. A final line. You will never have a relationship with my daughter. Not because I'm cruel, but because you've shown me exactly who you are. And I believe you. I believe you when you say you'll sue. I believe you when you say you'll fight. I believe you when you say you'll never give up. And that's exactly why you'll never be near her. Because I will never, ever trust you. Not for 5 minutes. Not with her in your line of sight. I stood up. Eli stood with me. This is the last time I'll ever speak to you. If you send anything else to my house, I'll call the police. If you show up anywhere I am, I'll get a restraining order. If you file a lawsuit, I'll fight it with everything I have. And I will win. Because I'm her mother. And nothing, not you, not your lawyer, not your family, will ever change that. I looked at Patricia.
And you?
You enabled this. You chose her over your son. You chose her over your grandchild. You'll have to live with that. Don't expect us to make it easier. I turned and walked out. Eli followed. We didn't look back. That was 3 weeks ago. Nothing has happened since. No packages. No calls. No certified letters. Mike texted Eli to say that Colleen had been quiet, withdrawn. She stopped going to Bridge Club. She stopped posting on Facebook. She just sat at home, he said, alone. I don't know if that makes me sad. It should, probably. But I'm too tired to feel much of anything for her. Lily is healthy, happy, growing like a weed. She smiles now, real smiles, mostly at me and Eli. My mom is obsessed with her, in the best way. Sarah comes over every weekend. My sister sends photos to a group chat that's just the three of us, full of baby advice and memes and love. Eli is different, quieter. He doesn't talk about his family. When his dad called last week, he let it go to voicemail.
He hasn't called back.
I don't push him. He'll deal with it in his own time. Or he won't. Either way, I'm here. Mike came by yesterday. He brought a stuffed animal for Lily and a six-pack for Eli. We sat on the porch, not talking much. Before he left, he hugged me. A real hug. I'm sorry, he said, for all of it. I just nodded. So that's it. That's the end. No dramatic courtroom showdown. No tearful reconciliation. No satisfying moment where Colleen sees the error of her ways. Just silence.
Peace.
A door firmly closed. I still think about that baby shower sometimes. The one I wanted. The one that started all of this. Wildflowers and vintage books and cozy blankets. 20 people, all people who love me. It would have been perfect. But you know what? Last week, my mom, my sister, Sarah, and I had our own little party. Just us in my living room. Takeout and cake and Lily in my arms. Wearing a little onesie with a storybook character on it. We didn't open gifts. We didn't play games. We just talked and laughed and held the baby. It was exactly what I wanted.
The end.
NTA, and honestly, you handled an absolute nightmare with far more grace than most people could. You were deep in a high-risk pregnancy, exhausted, huge, dealing with rising blood pressure, and all you asked for was one small, low-key baby shower planned by people who actually care about you. Instead, Colleen turned it into her personal power trip, showing up uninvited, dumping unwanted decorations, trying to hijack the venue and guest list, ignoring every polite no, then escalating to public shaming on Facebook, handing out your phone number to her friends, anonymous hate messages, the cruel, unwanted onesie stunt, hospital room ambush with the whole entourage, including a replacement baby as a prop, and finally the lawsuit threat over great-grandparent visitation. That isn't just being excited about the baby. That's calculated emotional warfare against a pregnant woman whose health was already fragile. Every time you set a boundary, the family weaponized family values to guilt you into surrendering. Patricia dismissing your doctor's warnings as dramatic, aunts calling you cold and ungrateful, even Mike eventually caving and leaking your location. They all chose loyalty to Colleen's ego over your safety and your baby's well-being. You didn't isolate Eli from his family. You refused to let a bully terrorize your pregnancy and newborn. When Colleen finally sent that apology letter, you still gave her one face-to-face chance to hear the truth, and you delivered it calmly, clearly, and without cruelty. You drew the line not out of spite, but out of necessity. You cannot trust someone who has proven, repeatedly, that they will hurt you and your child to stay in control. The silence since then? That's peace you fought for. Lily is safe, loved, and surrounded by people who respect her parents. You even managed a tiny, perfect celebration with your mom, sister, and Sarah, the exact vibe you wanted from the beginning. You didn't destroy a family. You escaped one that was willing to sacrifice your health and your daughter's safety to protect an 82-year-old bully's feelings. That takes incredible strength. You are unequivocally not the asshole. You're a mother who did her job. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Got a story to share? Drop it in the comments and let us know which one was your favorite.